Well, hello everyone. Local marketer Michael Woodruff with Woodruff Media, and this is our weekly Mike Designs, and we want to thank you all for coming here and saying hello and stopping by. We had a lot of great folks watching last week. We had two, two people, a girlfriend and a client. So hopefully, hopefully we build more than just that. But we want to thank everybody who is coming along with us and what we're doing, and it's just it's fun. It is a fun thing to do, and I want to thank everyone who is following along with us on a daily basis on our Facebook page and our website. It's one of those things where you're always building something. Content is driven. Content is king when it comes to an online presence, especially social media. It used to be 20 plus years ago. People had to bookmark your page and put it on the computer, at the top of the page of your computer there, and follow it. Make a concerted effort. Now with social media, you're feeding it, and in a lot of businesses, what they're doing is they're having a tough time feeding that. Because the sheer fact is that it is an ongoing thing. You're having an ongoing conversation. And what happens is, if you're a business owner, you're going to get burned out really quick doing social media. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll have the assistant, the secretary or somebody, or they'll hire a person, to do their social media, and that's great. The problem is especially the secretary aspect. It's a secondary job, not a primary job, and if they don't have a background in that, you're pretty much giving them a gun, and it's like playing Russian roulette. You're giving them a loaded gun, and when they pull that trigger, it's either going to kill them or they're going to live another day. So, and that sounds very gruesome, but that's what it does for businesses. A stupid, I would say stupid. Stupid's not a good word. We'll say an ignorant, a person who's not trained in marketing, can do a lot of damage to your business. So there's some things that you want to consider when you're doing that. And anyway, I want to invite you. If you haven't you haven't contacted us, you probably should. If you have a business, you can call me, 918-830-3348. Yes, we have an Oklahoma number, but I'm actually in Van Buren, Arkansas, which is just right over the border. So it's not like, you're talking to somebody from another world. But anyway, every week we do talk about things that matter, and we do some graphic design work. So today we're going to be talking about business blogging. Now, business blogging is a weird thing because people will be like, why should I blog? I don't know how to write. I don't know how to formulate sentences, and much less, what do I know? Well, if you're a business owner, you are the expert in what you're doing. And if you're not an expert and you have a business, that's a problem. Because, say for example, a plumber. If you don't know anything about plumbing, then you probably should be a plumber, right? So, but people do fall into businesses by accident. They do find themselves like, oh my gosh, I just inherited this business, or my husband died and now I got to run the business, and he always did this and now I don't even know where to start. So we're going to kind of get you. Blogging helps you actually teach yourself the business in some ways when it comes to terminology and that kind of thing. It also opens up a lot of doors. And let's talk about those benefits, because I'm not going to go ahead of myself here. So the benefits of business blogging is you're going to build authority. Remember, I said you're the expert. So if you are having a tough time being the expert, blogging helps you feel like the expert. It also improves your SEO, your search engine optimization. A lot of times people will just put a bunch of quotes and comments and things like that in the SEO on their website, and it's just like this hodgepodge of different things. And that's great, but the thing is you're going to forget you're not going to cover everything. So a blog helps you kind of cover those bases in a lot of different ways. The next is it creates reusable content. Going back to what I was talking about, social media, emails, producing videos, and even commercials and other things. It gets you to start thinking about in a marketing kind of way and how that is. And it kind of sets a roadmap for you on how you want to proceed when it comes to certain things. A lot of times businesses will say, well, we just need to come up with some ideas. Well, creating the blog helps you develop those ideas. And that does a lot of things. We're going to show you in a couple of minutes how we do that. Next is attracts better leads. Educated clients convert faster. You think about those educated clients. Those educated clients, and educated clients doesn't mean, people who are like, college degrees and they got, a PhD and blah, blah, blah. No, we're talking about people who are already looking for your product to kind of know what they want. You're just giving them the opportunity to find you more because you are actually using the terms that they're using. It also works 24/7. So blog is online all the time, as opposed to, writing a commercial like on radio or television or something like that, or, those are good things, and I believe in those traditional outlets. But the thing is 2:00 in the morning when someone's, scrolling or they're looking up a term or, something or another, they got a question about something, all of a sudden your website can come to the forefront. And then, of course, it also compounds over time. It keeps delivering long after it's published. So going back to that content and some other things. So you can revert back to it for other ideas. You can, if you make it an evergreen type of thing, you can turn it into something else. You can use it for holidays and say, for instance, well, this idea worked really well for this blog. We have a lot of hits. Well, let's redo it again, but this time let's tailor it to Christmas or Easter or Halloween or something like that. So you can do a lot of different things with that. I, for one, am a big fan of all of those outlets and what we do. And I'll be honest, I really enjoy blogging now. I used to hate it. It took me, well, not really hate it. Hate's not the word. It was real tedious. And I would oh my God, I got to do a blog and I have to come up with ideas and I sit with a notebook and I would just be like, oh, and of course, once I start writing the blog and the points and everything, it would be great, but it would take me it could take me up to a week to write a blog, especially if I'm doing it for a business. It was painful. It was like pulling teeth. And I just was like, oh my gosh. But now with AI, we've got better options. And so we're going to talk about that now. We're going to go up to our AI here. We're going to go right to it here. We'll bring this up. Ooh, all the way back there too. We got our screen grab, and then we're going to go over here. So we're going to, right here is where should we begin? So I used a plumber as a reference for this, because I think that's important because it can be used for a lot of things. You're not just a marketing person, or if you're doing it, for a lot of different things. So, of course, I'm a plumber. I know very little about plumbing. So this will be very helpful to show you how, like I said, let's act like, I'm married to a plumber and my plumber died. Okay, now I'm picking up the business and I have no idea where to begin. But I do know I need to get a blog going on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a blog. All right. So first thing a lot of people do when they write a blog is they're going to say, and the best thing you do is say, hi, I own a plumbing business and I need help writing a blog. Now, I'm using my page, so it might already throw some stuff out at me. I hope that's not the case. I'm using a new thread, so hopefully it doesn't put it into Woodruff Media stuff, right? So I'm going to say, hi, I own a plumbing business and I need help writing a blog. My husband just died. I'm just going to tell it. I'm going to tell it what I'm going to do. My husband just died, and I know very little about plumbing. And then I'm going to write in there, we have 3 employees on staff and 4 vans. I'm just describing my business. Yeah, 3 employees on staff and 4 vans. I heard blogging may help our marketing our business. Where do we start? I'm just going to ask that question. Where do we start? First, I'm sorry for your loss. Trying to keep a business afloat while carrying grief is a heavy lift. You don't have to become a plumbing expert overnight to make blogging work. Think of less like technical writing and more like opening a friendly front door to your community. Let's make this simple and human. I already have what most marketing plans can't buy. You already have what most marketing plans: real local business, real employees, and real customers. Blogging just helps you tell that story. Here's a calm, beginner-friendly way to start. Number 1 is set the goal before you write anything. For a small business, service business like yours, blogging usually has 3 purposes. Helps local people find you on Google. Answers common customer questions before they even call. Build trust. These folks know what they're doing. And you don't need viral content. You just need helpful neighborhood content. That's it. Step 2 is start with easy topics. No plumbing degree required. You can begin with posts like, these are gold. 5 signs you might have a hidden water leak. What do you want your toilet? What to do when your toilet overflows? How to shut off your main water line in an emergency? Tanks versus tankless water heaters. Simple pros and cons. You don't have to write these alone. Your employees already know the answers. You can translate their experiences into plain English. A great trick. Ask one of your techs, what do customers call about most? Each answer becomes a blog post. And so, local plus human posts build, meet your team, a day in the life of one of our plumbers. Why do we love serving our community? What to expect when you call us for service? You don't need jargon, just hire people. People hire people, not pipes. Step 3 is use a very simple structure. Every blog can follow this formula. 3 friendly, short, 2 to 3 paragraphs. The main points, 3 to 5 seconds per header. Practical tips or advice, gentle call to action at the end. Example: if you're dealing with these issues, you're not sure what to do next, our team is happy to help. Give us a call and we'll walk you through your options. Okay, so that's great. We use what they call a CTA, a call to action. All right. And the next one is don't overdo frequency. Once or twice per month is plenty. Consistency beats volume. 1 good post every 2 weeks is far better than 5 posts in burnout. You're running a business and grieving. Marketing should support you, not exhaust you. Number 5 is make your staff part of it. You don't have to carry this alone. Ask techs for various topic ideas. Have them voice record answers on their phone. Jot down notes after ride-alongs. Turn real customer questions into articles. You become the storyteller. They provide the raw material. That's teamwork, not pressure. One important mindset set shift. You're not trying to sound like a giant corporation. You're trying to sound like a local plumber company that cares and knows what it's doing. You're already true. That's already true. Blogging just puts it into words. If you like, we can build a starter list of 10 blog topics tailored to your business. Create and plug and play blog templates so you can use them every time, and draft your first blog together. Approve everything. You do not have to sprint. We can talk this one step at a time. Pretty simple stuff, isn't it? So let's go with the top 10. And so I'm just going to say top 10. Top 10. Top 10. Put that in there. Got it. Let's make this practical, low stress. Here's top 10 starter list that works especially well for local plumbing businesses. These are proven customer-friendly topics that don't require deep technical writing, just common sense and your team's real-world experience. Think of this as your first blogging playlist. So we'll look at these. These are beginner-friendly. What to do when your toilet overflows, step by step. And you have emergency content builds trust fast. People Google this in panic mode. 5 signs that you might have a hidden water leak. Okay, I like that one. Great for education and for catching problems early and save customers money. How to shut off your water line. Every homeowner should do this. Common plumbing problems we see in your town. Tank and tankless water heaters, simple pros and cons. What to expect when you call it our plumbing company. And meet our team. The people behind the vans, humanizing your business. Customers love knowing who's coming to their home. And 7 things that you should never pour down your drains. Oh, and we got a lot more. 7 things you should never put down your drains. How to prevent frozen pipes. Seasonal plumbing tips. Well, that's interesting because we got snow, right? When to call a plumber and when it's safe to do it yourself, DIY. And then option, no, but powerful, is if you feel comfortable, is continuing our family business, serving the community, moving forward. Not heavy, not emotional, just real. People respect resilience. Tiny but important advice. You don't need to write all 10 right now. Just start with 1. Then another next month. Momentum beats perfection. All right, so we made this up about dying and everything else. I'm not going to do that one because that right there is just that's a killjoy. So let's do another one. Let's do the one that's relevant to what we are doing right now, which is frozen pipes. So we're going to do number 9. We're just going to highlight it and copy it. Paste. How to prevent frozen pipes. All right, so let's write this up here. Excuse me. Perfect choice. This one helps homeowners and develop quietly positions your business as the calm expert when winter starts, knocking on doors. Let's draft it in a way that's friendly, clear, and easy to post. Here's a ready-to-use blog. You can copy, paste, and tweak names, towns, details later. How to prevent frozen pipes. There we go. When temperatures drop, frozen pipes become one of the most common and costly winter plumbing problems. A frozen pipe can burst, leading to water damage, unexpected repairs, and a lot of stress for homeowners. The good news, a little preparation goes a long way. Here are some tips, some simple practical tips that you can take to protect your plumbing this winter. And so now we explain it, why frozen pipes are such a big deal. All right. We go down to simple ways to prevent frozen pipes. Insulate exposed pipes. Seal drafts and air leaks. Keep your thermostat consistent. Disconnect outdoor hoses and know where your main water shutoff is. Now, see, this is key because we had an article already that talked about where that was. So we already have a way of linking that if we wanted to for our next blog. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight this one for later. What to do if you think a pipe is frozen. We're here to help this winter. And now we have a call to action right here. Okay. Now add your name and town for local SEO. So now we're going to call it Bud's plumbing. Oops. Plumbing. And Timbuktu. 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 Heck, we'll use Arkansas since, you know. All right, we'll make up a town. You'll probably call me on it. Maybe you'll say, "Where is Timbuktu?" So we'll say, you know, we'll start our own thing. Now, at this point, you're going to say, "Well, I'm going to do exactly what it tells me," but we have an idea, right, for another one. Can we mention another article for those who want to learn more? Another article for those who want to learn more. I'm really interested in know where your main water shutoff is. There it is. So now we'll just hit that and see what happens. Who's watching us right now? Oh my goodness, we got somebody watching us. That's wonderful. Whoever's watching us, we want to thank you. If you would, give us a thumbs up. All right, absolutely. Let's localize Bub's Plumbing in Timbuktu, Arkansas, and we even a gentle learn more link about the main shutoff. Here's your updated, ready to post version. You can drop this straight into your website and later turn the shutoff piece into its own article. So there it is right there. For Bud's Plumbing in Timbuktu, Arkansas. And now we have it. Now, I will be honest with you. This is great. It's awesome. It speaks. It got everything we need to know about plumbing, right? I'm not going to go through it all because, you know, we've already covered those things. So now it says, if you like, we can quickly draft a companion article. We could do that. And you're going to say, no, but I need artwork. Can we get photos highlighting these? And this is, you know, you have to think about it, right? And so, but we need to get photos. I need artwork for this article. We'll be very broad and see what it says, because that's what most people are going to do. They're going to do something really broad and everything else. And now it's going to create an image. Now, what it's doing right now is it's producing a picture for me. This is great. Not exactly what we were looking for, but it's wonderful. We can use this picture for our social media. So that's another thing we can do, but this is not what I'm looking for. I'm sorry. This isn't what I need. I need photos for points in my article. So, like I said, you know, this right here is great. We can use that for social media. Perfect for whatever. And there it is. Stay warm and blah blah blah. And we've got that, which is great. We can use that and learn more inside. I'm not sure about that, but okay, that's fine. Um, and I typoed the words over here in my article because I type really fast. That's okay because it will. This is not stupid, all right. It's just ignorant. You have to educate it. Got it. Thank you for clarifying. Instead of one big graphic, you want realistic photos you can drop directly into the article. One a key section. Think of these like visual pit stops on your blog. They help readers skim and understand fast. Below are ready to use photo groups matched in the main points of your article. You and your web person can right click, save similar articles, and there it is. Okay, so there it is. It shows all these cool things that we can do about that. So, and then we got cabinets, what we can put them at, um, you know, insulating the pipes, checking ear leaks, all of this stuff. And there it is. You have it all done. Now, thank you all for watching our program. And we will invite you all to come back and say hello to us in another time. Take care.